The Shrouds is Cronenberg's latest and will probably produce enthralled discussion, and I feel for very good reason. The Shrouds is one of the best Cronenberg films in years, and possibly his best of the 21st century, along with Spider and Eastern Promises. The one aspect which will conjure some contention is the script. I would like to recommend that those who are concerned about spoilers to leave here. Okay, assuming you will have the abrupt ending will throw some people off. I can just imagine reading this script written by Cronenberg and totally loving it as a piece, although I suspect that audiences want more in a feature film narrative trip. I appreciated what Cronenberg was trying to do, though I can understand why a lot of people may not. It is a very minimal script in general. We as the viewer are invited to fill context into the narrative spectres, and especially advanced new technology and omnisciently invasive softwares, a series of CEOs who can prevent governments or media from finding out about matters concerning their companies or even major private dramas. The actions of an off screen faction which still feels very substantial, tangible in the events of the plot, and just a world where rich people can engage in disputes and aggressive drama, sometimes involving corporate surveillance or coordinated espionage, without it necessarily affecting or coming to the attention of the rest of the world. It is one of Cronenberg's best premises across his entire career, and ultimately the film is less about the sheer psychological revolution which the titular technology could entail, for that too thoroughly, and more about the grotesque drama which emanate around the protagonist, played by Vincent Cassel, his deceased wife's sister, her ex husband, his brother in law, and the wife of a Hungarian CEO whom Cassel's character has an affair with. Viscerally shot by Douglas Koch, The Shrouds is an improvement upon 2022's Crimes of the Future, which I felt was a strong film, though imperfect. It hadn't much to say using its premise. If anything, the execution, the handling, elevated a comparatively unimpressive script. Here, many might claim that there is a focus upon script that overpowers the urge to soak in Cronenberg's vivid, penetrating images, although I could claim that the execution is refreshingly modest yet defined, every frame and action pronounced as significant in the service of a screenplay, a piece of text, which Cronenberg resolutely believes in. This is almost Cronenberg's Roma film, if Dead Ringers wasn't that already. Cronenberg is one of my favourite filmmakers. I consider him a genius without a great sum of serious competitors. He has been responsible for completely seminal films from the 70s, clearly the 80s. There's a couple major titles in the 90s, Naked Lunch and Existence, Side Side, and a highly impressive 21st century set, including the previously mentioned Spider, A History of Violence, not a perfect film perhaps, but certainly commendable as a whole. Eastern Promises, also mentioned prior, Cosmopolis, the preceding release Crimes of the Future, and not A Dangerous Method or the dreary, meagre mediocrity that was 2014's Maps to the Stars. The Shrouds would potentially make my top 10 favourite Cronenberg works. There'd be only 7 at max that I prefer, I'll claim. One of the best films of 2024, though most of us are seeing it in 2025. It premiered at Cannes during 2024. If this is to be Cronenberg's final feature, it will go down as one of the greatest final films in the history of all auteurs, and may go on to be cited as one of the best features of the wider 2020s. Utterly gripping, pretty original, strongly performed, Guy Pearce could be the most memorable player of the film, stimulating science fiction and continually unnerving. We're going to champion here the Shrouds, very proudly, happily and enthusiastically. The man still has it, or apparently the man had never lost it. One of the best writer-directors of all time, some of the best scripts of all time, with some of the most unpredictable original executions. If there are any more original or distinct auteurs in cinema history, not many of them would be found working in the English language, at least.